the mountains, you find the true heart of Sardinia, isolated from outside influence, tailored to a tough way of life. It's where they invented and still make one of Sardinia's defining foods. Pane carasau is bread that starts as a doughy hot air balloon. It ends up as a thin, crisp, cracker-like bread that will keep for 6 months. Perfect for mountain shepherds to carry in their packs. I am absolutely 100% convinced you can taste history of a people and a culture through the food, and if this doesn't prove it to you, I don't know what does. It starts as a ball of dough. Even when it's pressed flat, the dough is so light, if you place it just right in a wood-burning oven, it bubbles up. Separate the 2 paper-thin layers and bake each one a second time. Pane carasau means twice-baked bread.
We love it.
This is amazing, really amazing. But just the quality of them, just the flavor. The people on this little assembly line represent more than 100 years of experience. That's why they make something look easy that's really not. Uh-oh, uh-oh. See, it's not as easy as it looks, seriously. You have to cut the bread quickly or it fuses back together. And you back up the assembly line.
The lady said,
no.
We have to do
Yes.
Come on, otherwise coming.
But inside the oven is where the magic happens.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
No, un attimo.
No, wait.
Adesso lo devi girare.
Now you have to turn it.
To get an idea what this is like, imagine trying to flip a balloon on a bed of broken glass.
Perfetto.
Well, let's not get too carried away. Thank you, you're being very kind. The mountains of Sardinia are rough and rugged. This is where generations of tough islanders held out against any and all would-be invaders. Even today, it's no picnic trying to reach the people who live here. I've often said that all food tastes better the harder you have to work for it.
Yep, that's all we have to do in order to meet a goat herder, a real one.
Here in these mountains, I hope to get a taste of Sardinian tradition I've wanted to try for years. Casu martzu, often insultingly referred to as maggot cheese. The real stuff is made only in Sardinia, and it's now illegal to sell, even here. But the tradition is still alive and well in remote, mostly unvisited places. This is like Lord of the Rings meets 1926 Appalachia.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable.
Look, and the sun is coming up. Oi, Nene!
Ciao.
Ciao. È commentista, no? Non c'è male. Rami.
Andrew, nice to meet you. Giovanni Gabas has lived in these mountains all his life. Giovanni is a goat herder. This is his home year-round, a single room where the only source of heat is a fire burning right in the middle of the floor. The smoke is handy for aging cheese and meat. Giovanni's been aging this wheel of caprino made from goat's milk for about 2 months now. Incredible. Look at the mold and the cracking on this.
For him, the best thing to do is to eat it rather than to talk about it.
Point taken. I'm going to learn that Giovanni is utterly unimpressed by the whole TV thing, more so than anybody I've ever met. But I want to learn firsthand how he lives and how he makes his cheese. Milk goes almost directly from a goat's udder to a pot on the fire. Then rennet is added, and it's stirred as the milk separates. I'm trying to be helpful here.
He said, if he doesn't understand, how can I tell him what to do?
A lifetime of solitary living means that Giovanni doesn't really explain. He just does. Well, you want to know what the lesson learned here is? I'm a really crappy cheesemaker. Giovanni uses bare hands in near boiling liquid to shape the curds into what will become wheels of cheese. These will age for a couple of months here in Giovanni's smoky cottage. For lunch, we'll be eating cheese that's already aged and that's had flies lay their eggs inside it. Giovanni's neighbor Francesco drops in as we're setting the table for lunch. including a whole cured pig's leg. That's their air-dried mountain ham. Think prosciutto. Along with that twice-baked Sardinian bread. And this. This is, for me, the most interesting cheese in the whole world. Casu martzu starts out as just another wheel of cheese. But months later, you don't slice into it. You cut the top off and lift it off like a lid. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, very ripe. That is some stinky cheese. And it's alive with maggots. They're larvae of a fly that lays eggs in the cheese when it's very young. Thousands of them have been eating and then excreting into this cheese. Centuries ago, probably by accident, someone tasted maggot-infested cheese and decided, wow, it's actually better after being flavored and softened by passing through the digestive system of the larvae. What's the best way to eat this? Do you scoop some of the hard stuff from the inside, the soft from the middle, both?
Qual è il modo migliore per mangiarlo?
Che si è sposato, allora questa sera si prepari.
Giovanni suggesting the best way to eat it is just to place it in your mouth.
Okay, another point taken.
Even like that. Just place it in your mouth.
By the way, it's a good sign that the maggots are still alive. Dead maggots would indicate that the casu martzu would be unsafe to eat. Wow. Have you had this before?
Not yet.
It's so ammoniated, it actually scorches your tongue a little bit, but you want to keep eating it. This is like a piece of Limburger or blue cheese that you've left for 2 months in your refrigerator and forgotten about, and you smell it and throw it away. That's what this tastes like. It's very strong, very ammoniated. The texture is incredible, though. Giovanni gives his longest speech of the day to let me know casu martzu is, you guessed it, an aphrodisiac.
He's asking if you're married. Because if you're married, then tonight is going to be your night.
Grazie.
Wow.
It's severe.
It's too much.
I like it. Now, you might think that the casu martzu was the most imposing edible we encountered all day. Not even close. One of the most shocking foods I've ever tasted is created inside of these, the stomachs of kid goats. And I'm about to eat a cheese created inside the stomach lining itself.
This is the goat rennet.
Rennet naturally exists in a part of the stomach lining containing enzymes that break down milk. You can make cheese by adding a little rennet to your milk, but here they add a little milk to the stomach, and it makes a kind of a cheese prized as the finest dairy delicacy in the mountains. The cheese has been aging inside this stomach for about 40 days. And of course, the best thing about it is that it's got a couple hairs in every bite.
It's part of the taste. That's what really gives also the taste.
Oh my gosh.
It's so delicious.
That's insane. That's just like fat that's turned into cheese. That's what it tastes like. You know, tallow. I gotta tell you, the smell in here is almost burning your nose with ammonia. This is ammonia mixed with edible wax.
Yeah.
That is gasoline and ammonia mixed with edible wax. In this ascending scale of powerful cheeses, I think I just went over the top.